Hey guys, we got Brian from Blockcities. We're gonna end up talking about what they're doing. We got like another kind of awesome example, I think, of connecting more metaverses together and stuff. And Brian is a fucking badass. But we were sitting here off air, kind of talking about stuff. I was showing him my new Connect the Tribes blockchain dome. He's like, "Well, how do you do that?" I'm like, "Well, all right. I guess I got to show you how portals work, and we'll work from there." So I don't know if you've seen the images that we can put in, right? This is kind of an example,
like this.
Right? Yeah, so Nefty's a friend of ours. Of course, you could point your phone at the computer right now, and it would just send you right to
their page.
All right, so this is the big portal hub. This is in a place called Old World, and each one of these portals is actually its own map, right? So if you want to go to Genesis, which is where like UpLifters Tower is and stuff, right? You would just come over here and just walk straight into this. It looked like you just got turned around, but you didn't. It's going to beam me over to Genesis in a second here. And this is the UpLifters Tower, right? Where this is where like everybody who comes on the show, we put up a gratitude, and this is sort of where Jimmy and I come to work every morning.
Nice.
While we're here, we should put a gratitude up. What are you grateful for in this millisecond?
Oh man, technology.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm grateful for Metaverse collabs.
For sure.
Anyway, so the other way you could pop between servers is just to go /server. I want to go back to world so I can show you what's going on over there.
Yeah, like I was just playing around in like bounce between Genesis and then what was the other one? I bought some land a little while ago in one of them. Anyway, so just checking it out yesterday.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is the main portal hub, right? And then this is a walkway that I started building out here. And my whole thing is like, this year is going to be the story of Uplift going multi-chain, right? So all of our NFTs right now are on Wax. So this is going to be a giant hub where about 6 blockchains are all going to be able to basically connect in our world. The first one is going to be Ethereum. So you'll walk over here, come in here, and there's going to be 2 doors at first, right? So you'll be able to go to Ethereum on this side, which is the creative world, and Degen on the other, which is going to be the survival world. And actually, what I started doing this for is I'm going to get logos up for every single one of the projects that are coming in, because ultimately, like, we're probably going to have about 10 maps on Ethereum, like, in a few years, right? And so what's really going to happen is there's going to be 10 doors in this room, probably some room to do some promo in the middle of it or whatever. It'll kind of be the portal hub for all of the worlds that are minted on Ethereum, right? And then each blockchain that we go to is going to have a small dome like this that's punched off of the big one that's going to go right here. It's going to be about 100 blocks high. It's a tad ambitious. Yeah. Anyway,
so basically just onboarding and like linking to other other places, either other metaverses or other companies that are building within.
So it won't be other metaverses, although I totally would do that. This is going to be all of the Uplift worlds that have their land keys minted on Ethereum in here, right? And then we're part of the New Moon Accelerator, so we're going to have another dome over here. We're going to have NFT land key NFTs that are minted there. That's going to be over here. Solana, Cardano, basically anywhere where there's a lot of volume is where we're going to have stuff minted out. I imagine EOS someday.
So yes, someday. So let's say Solana gets integrated, and then what are you guys looking for? What's like the highest and best use in terms of like what someone can bring to this platform, with their Solana NFTs?
Yeah, I mean, so the biggest thing is we my first goal with Ethereum as an example, right? I go in and look to find 50 to 100 projects that have communities that we would like to have involved, that we would like to be neighbors. So that's going to be the first thing that I'm looking for on Solana. Like when we decide, okay, we're gonna start the process of minting that out. We're gonna have a couple little worlds, one creative, one survival. Basically, all the stuff that we're doing on Ethereum, we're just gonna do it on Solana, right? And then we'll mint the NFTs over there and connect with those projects and kind of probably let that ride for a while, because it's going to be a busy year. We're going to be onboarding probably a good 50 times more people that are in the Uplift right now are gonna be in before the end of the year, if I had to guess.
I dig it. Now, in terms of NFTs, are you guys like, am I able to pull in like other file types, either like 3D, like GLB files, anything like that can actually like have a 3-dimensional presence
into the Uplift? Not right now. This is like one of the there's so many things that being in Minecraft lets us do really quickly, right? But that's one where we're going to be behind anybody using Unreal 5, for example, right? Or some of these other things. We just did a show with my buddy Sebastian, who's helping out the Void, the I'm a Degen group on Ethereum, and they basically are creating like one-of-one avatars. It's like a PFP project, but they're like they're avatars. So you get the little picture, but then hold my beer. Every single one of them is an object file that can be used anywhere, basically, that will allow you to import object files. So they're using them in like Grand Theft Auto and like all these other crazy things, right? And that's clearly where everything is going.
Yep.
And so I've been talking to Chan, like we're getting some Unreal 5 licenses this year, where I think the only real goal this year is to show that we can take a build from the Uplift, and because we can create object files from that really easily, and then convert that into something that works in Unreal 5, and then have some of our partner avatar projects come in and bring 3D objects in, right? So that we can basically start to create content around that. Ultimately, then we create gaming experiences, and then we can actually bootstrap up to Unreal 5, which is sort of our 3 to 5 year plan anyway. So yeah, right now, no. Now, like, could we take an object file like that? I mean, this is the plan for that I wanted to test out with, because I went and bought a bunch of those Void avatars because they're really cool. And so what I want to do is like grab the tower behind me or something, like grab some kind of iconic Uplift build, turn it into an Unreal 5 experience that you can walk into, or even just create content out of, and then have one of these Void avatars like walking around or doing a dance in it or whatever, right? So basically play around with the idea that we can even just create content with it from those sides. So it's on my mind. Unfortunately, we can't bring it just like bodily into Minecraft, because Minecraft will choke so easy that it's sad. It's really lame.
So and a lot of this is just like maybe being a little bit naive and not playing Minecraft nearly as much as my daughter.
But I mean, that's always the question, right? And it's not a bad question in any way, shape, or form. Now, there are people that have taken object files and you can render them in Minecraft like blocks, right?
Okay.
And so people that have come in and made like just massive superhero statues and different things like that. So there are things that people have done that way. I'm not an expert at it, but I know that can be done. And so then you just need like a big huge chunk of land to play around with, just because to get any kind of fine detail out of it, you have to build real big.
Yep, I dig it, man.
Mm-hmm.
So then I know. So and talk to me about in general what you're doing with like NFT the movie and some of these other groups, and kind of what that looks like in terms of the partnership rolling out. Yeah.
So NFT the movie already has some land. We should actually go there. Let's get back on here and we can go stand underneath their billboard, which is always fun.
Like it.
All right, this would be good if I had those portals actually set up, but I do not yet. So we'll fake it. And anybody who's in the Uplift right now can do that, right? Just go in and type server Etheria, and you can come in and see what we're doing over here. So we got it's nighttime. Anyway, so this is the Ethereum map. You can actually check it out on World Maps too. It's live. This is the new meta art building, which is kind of fun. They're actually going to have artists installations going all up on the inside of that too, which is kind of fun. All right, so this is a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer map. And what we're doing is we're going to be minting all the NFTs for the 1,000 odd plots that are per land. We got two different worlds that we're launching, right? So one is this one, Etheria, which is creative, and the other one is DGen 1, which is survival, right? So two maps, about 1,000 NFTs each, right? We're going to mint all those on Ethereum probably in about 3.5 weeks. So the way that we basically, go into a new market is, I want to get, minimum 50 projects or communities per map. So we're 100 total. To basically just kind of build out the initial core, bit of community and value, right? Like we want to have people there, right? So when we actually do go to auctions, everybody who wants to get a piece of land, next to NFT the movie, or next to the Meta Art Club or whatever, like we're just sort of pre-baking in the demand for the map, and creating a really vibrant space anyway, right? So on Etheria here, we're gonna have 50 different products come and get a free piece of land. We'll put some billboards up. The goal would be to build, something that is kind of like the Meta Art Tower, right? Like this is the kind of thing I'd love to see from everybody, where they're gonna have 10 artists up through the front, right? I just made these. They're making better ones. They're in the process of doing it, but this is like basically takes you to their website. This will take you to their OpenSea page, right? So it's just a lot of place to allow people to get connected with what you're doing, right?
Now, and then from that perspective, are they just pulling in importing like a JPEG file?
So the way images work for us, we do image installing for Upliftium, right?
Okay.
I'm donating a metric crap ton of my own Upliftium for the initial image install. So basically, you get us images, and our image installers will put them in.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, since the NFT the movie guys really well, we're gonna be fanning their friends projects out, spaced out every couple 100 yards, every 100 yards back out this way. So I think I want to get you a piece of land in this cluster, and B, like it might be on the side of this mountain, like
the side of the mountain is ideal,
right? Like this is what the hell. I haven't been back here. Oh my god. Like, what?
That's dope.
Huh. This is cool. Sorry, I haven't been on this side of the mountain before. We need to see this in the day.
Nice.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Is it winter over there?
It's winter on top of the mountain. Man, is that a waterfall? Huh. That's funny. Man, that's really cool. All right, so, and I think the way I have it set up, I'm pretty sure that I put Masters of Bitcoin over here somewhere. And so, assuming you guys are game and you guys are in, I'll be finding you guys a piece of land kind of in this general area around here.
Yeah.
And then like we basically book you a time with Jen. She's gonna come in and make sure that you guys are, and you already have lands. You've already been like you already are whitelisted to the Uplift itself. So we'll manually add you to your land so you can start building. And we'll get the first few images installed so we can do like a little billboard for you, just so that anybody walking by knows who's there. And frankly, like I do a lot of these demos, right? So like every time I come in here to do a demo, suddenly it's like not just NFT the movie and meta art, it's NFT and the movie and meta art and Blockcities. And this is where we definitely want to get like whether it's and usually the website is usually the one, right, where you get just the website and the QR code or just so people can kind of zoom in to what you're doing in real time when they're in here.
Yep.
Man, the freaking landscapes this time are just out of this world. I finally got a chance to go over to us getting some people on their land in DGen this morning. I should show it to you. I've never seen anything like it.
Now, where do these landscapes originate from? Is that something where like your team built out, or is that like
they're random seeds? And we used to do just when we booted up a new map, we just went with whatever the random seed gave us, which is so dumb. But we took some time this time and basically generated probably close to 50. And Wayne, our software engineer, picked these ones, and I'm so glad we went through that because this is like way cooler. All right, check this out. Let some of it get in here. Like, come on, man. Oh, I keep hitting the wall. Oops.
So then what you're talking about in terms of like integration of like Unreal within a 3 to 5 year plan is you're basically talking about taking these worlds and exporting the files in some way where then they're like completely recreated at some point in the future. Is that kind of what you were saying a little bit earlier?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And so it basically lets us start, see, like the average person's not going to go build anything in Unreal 5, right?
Yeah.
And so it allows us to get people in and see the rampant, creativity that's already happened in the Uplift, right? Just even after a year. A little village. You spent the dumbest shit. Funny. Anyway, yeah, it's just DGen's been blowing my mind. I just haven't seen any valleys like this that are just all terracotta and awesome sauce.
Yeah,
it's just really cool. So yeah, never mind all this. Tell everybody about Blockcities.
Yeah, so we've built a platform for tokenizing real world assets to be able to take like, real estate, agriculture, renewable energy, etc., and then be able to tokenize it to like digitize shares. There's really a bunch of different functionalities that we've built out that in order to complement and just like facilitate that process. But everything from like voting to rental to bidding functions as a professional where you can actually get paid for doing what you would normally do, but all based on utility security token model. So the idea is if you want to be able to bring something to life in the same way that like equity crowdfunding, or just crowdfunding in general, where you can throw out a proposed project, people can vote on it, and then people can actually purchase shares of that asset and then bring it into physical form. On the back end, one of the things that's kind of cool is we secured the patent to milestone-based smart contracts. So being able to take a project and then disperse the flow of money on the back end in phases for like a real world construction project. It's basically the technology that we built. And so that can apply to a number of different things. I mean, ultimately, if you wanted to, create a DAO and then have that DAO extended with functionality, we built a toolkit that allows you to do those kind of things.
Okay, Brian. It's been our intent to look with some people that I know to start a real estate DAO this year. Is that something that we should be looking at to incorporate with?
Absolutely.
So tell me everything. I thought it was just like I thought we were just metaverse buddies. No. We're like we're adults. No. We make shit over here. I'm like, oh, yeah. I need all of that.
Yep. No, so yeah, I mean the concept is like using a virtual twin planet as like a sandbox for the physical, but like ultimately, I feel like one of the highest and best uses of the metaverse is like determining what we actually want to build in the real world, and then come together, collaborating, and then bring it into form. And so the technology that we built is one that is able to be SEC compliant, when you need to, when it comes to like different offerings, and then able to basically disperse the money in phases. So with any Kickstarter project, one of the common threads is all of them had enough demand, for that project, the ones that were successful. On the back end, though, any of the projects that failed was typically like a mismanagement of funds. If you could actually program different milestones where the money would get dispersed, and then a system of like checks and balances where people just upload proof they did the job, are complete, and triggers the next step. You can minimize things going wrong to a certain degree. And so,
I mean, I feel like that. I mean, we were just going to run that as a DAO, right? We're going to be running proposals, and obviously they'll be contingent on achieving things, but like we're always going to do that. So like it'd be interesting to see how we could integrate those tools just to kind of simplify it, right? Because if it's just plug and play, right? Like you have a whatever dispersal of funds for whatever project, and it's only going to set it out upon like again like voted agreed upon proof by XYZ percentage of the DAO or something.
Yep, exactly. So, and the question is, what happens when degens become capable of real estate development?
You know
what I mean?
Who knows? So this is the thing, like it's not so much on the development side for the real estate thing. Like basically, I know a bunch of guys in Airbnbs, and like they teach people how to do Airbnbs. They're sort of like neck deep in deal flow, so they find opportunities kind of all the time. And so the idea was whip up a Wyoming DAO and have people be able to use their crypto to gain access to that asset class, basically, right? A lot of people wish they could have done that as opposed to going into UST, for example. You're right. So just there's I mean, off the top of my head, there would have been a few $1 million that would have got in on a good exposure to responsible real estate investment. Like kind of think about like a REIT or whatever, right? But like with a little bit more active management, and focusing on I mean, some flipping as we go into the top of the market, but like ultimately long-term stable kind of short-term rental kind of stuff. Anyway,
so like in terms of like how it could be a game changer for you guys, I mean, right now I'm seeing in your background, like 6 or so different buildings. What if just once a year the Uplift community comes together and votes on their favorite structure, and then that structure actually gets designed out, engineered out for the real world, and then you could actually allow for people to bring it into physical form in the real world. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's
it does. It's scary and amazing. It's rare that I meet someone who's thinking bigger than me. I mean, like ultimately we would sort of need to be a lot more funded than we are right now. But yeah, to do that in any way, right, is going to be amazing. We even talked to people about like doing 3D printing or whatever. But like if it could come down to, I don't know, even like having a bunch of architects come in and like get any kind of inspiration about our lunatic builds at all, would be incredible, because there's just so many. Like this my little inverted pyramid thing. It's just like I was just messing around, right? I knew I needed more space since I just started building out. But there's people that have built like really, really beautiful structures in the Uplift that doing any kind of MVP of that would be incredible.
Yep, absolutely. Man. And so at the very core, like you can basically just create a sequence of tasks, and then ultimately just each task has a bounty associated with it. So whether it's like putting together the actual architectural plans, or whether it's I don't know, if you're an excavator and doing a land prep, or whatever that case might be, you can get paid in the real world for completing the tasks that you typically do. And then it's just you upload proof, you did your job, are complete. It's stored via IPFS, Arweave on the Solana side. And then just triggering the next step. So a way of doing like semi-autonomous construction in the real world, in a way that is able to be securities compliant. I mean,
that to me just, that seems like just the way the future is going to be anyway. Right? It's just like just imagining like being able to look back at a build and the steps of it aren't like in some file folder somewhere, they're on chain. Right, like at every point there's no question about when what got done when or whatever, like it's all just there, right? And I mean 10 years from now, chances are everything's going to be like that. So it's amazing to talk to people that are actually getting this stuff done early.
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's a really cool company that recently has just been smashing it. They're called New Community down in Texas, and all they did is they took some good designs of like modular structures, and then basically just opened it up where people could pre-reserve it in the same way that you could reserve like a Cybertruck from Tesla. You could basically reserve, a residence, from this company. And so they took in a raise of hands, and that raise of hands in the last 6 months has they've been able to do roughly, or take in roughly $3.6 billion worth of pre-reservations of these units. And they went from $0 of real estate holdings to $72 million of holdings in less than 4 months. And that's just simply by like the whole like pre-reservations, function. Ultimately, they're not even using blockchain technology yet, but it's like when you can start to pair land with the improvements that go on land and then allow people to express which one they want most. I mean, very, very, it's an area that's ripe for potential.
How do I do that with the Uplift? Right? Like sort of like figuring out how to map that deal out so that we could have some meaningful expression of attempting to do something that insane with our platform.
So ultimately all it would be is like identifying the MVP in terms of like, okay, which structure should be going through this process first, and then ultimately opening up to the community where it's like, all right, who's got some land that we should build this on, and based off of that, where's the demand? Let's say if there's 3 different parcels in different parts of the country, where is the most demand from a user base in terms of like actually utilizing that, whether like co-working or if it's going to be a hotel or whatever it is. So basically just pairing the landowners, and then ultimately it's just creating an SPV is what it would be within the platform. And then, it's just a matter of identifying, okay, phase 1 is this, phase 2 is this. And then contractors can actually bid out the building of this structure.
That's crazy. What was the name of that company again?
So that was New Community was the one that I mentioned.
NEW New?
Yep, correct.
That's nuts. Is it billions? See, that's the thing. Like that, the whole idea that you can make a value proposition that's good enough. The Tesla truck is, example is another good one. I know they were doing that with the cars for a long time too. Like just a way to capture the demand in a meaningful way, and then just deliver on it later. It's like a wink and a nod Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. And just by identifying the locations where just rental rates are too high, and so they know that if we can just take a really cool like modular structure and allow you to live in nature, but within 20 miles, 30 miles of Austin, Texas, or whatever that market looks like, it makes sense. People want that experience.
Yeah, I do. Yep. This guy. We're actually talking about. My wife actually just got the go ahead today, actually, to go fully remote. And it just means she works at the VA, so she can basically work anywhere in the States. And my family is going through some kind of tragedy stuff, but my family actually moved right close to her family in a different part of Florida. My family's from Canada, so they all moved down there, and then we had to leave.
No way.
I got her parents and my brother all in the same place, and then we took off to Miami. I'm like, hi, sorry. So we're gonna head back there a little bit, but one of the things we want to we've lived small anyway, right? And we're going down to live with her parents for a little bit, because we're going down to like either a boat or a tiny home somewhere. Like this is something we're actively doing now, just because we need the space that we need. It's very small, and we obviously need a little office space or whatever. But that's it. And like where you can do that, as long as there's internet access, we can kind of go there. So I think what they're doing is genius, and I think that's absolutely the future. And honestly, it's like I've talked to at least 5 different people that are talking about doing those same kind of things. Right? You get the tiny homes or modular homes, whatever, and go off the beaten path, and set that up, but set it up with the intent to have like meaningful community in that area too, right? Like just have kind of open areas and have people using them or whatever. People are really hungry for that.
Yeah, for sure. And this model of like really, really strong like community spaces and like amenities that are just like shared, but then being able to have just lower cost residences. I feel like we'll be seeing more and more of that for sure.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, man. Definitely would love to at some point, when it's appropriate timing, bring something to life.
Yeah, that'd be good. So I mean, I'm sort of like putting the team for this real estate DAO together. I'd love to have you in as an advisor, at the very least, right? So like I'm talking to Chan about part of the New Moon Accelerator. Her husband's in real estate in Europe. We did this one in Wyoming. I'm kind of thinking about setting up the actual DAO structure, offshore Caymans or Estonia, somewhere cool. Just frankly, so that I can get the experience in it. Right? Like this is like kind of the MVP thing. But so we've got some like real estate heavyweights that can help us kind of map this deal to what would make sense, and then we make it way cooler with Web3, right? And part of me is thinking we just go NFTs and skip token entirely, because we can, and then that way every time it changes hands, the DAO makes money, which is fun. But yeah, like getting just even like an MVP of that together, right? Like we got like a deal that if we can raise 400 grand in the next couple months, we could like start with a hotel. But I don't really give a shit about that. Like that, like, if we can, great. But people have been yelling at me to fast track this, which is like it's such a weird. Like I don't have time for this, but it's gonna be so cool. Like we're just like fuck it. It feels like the MVP for that is so kind of close at hand, and everybody that I would need to put it together just keeps showing up out of the woodwork. Brian, what the hell, right? So like. Because if the universe just keeps throwing signs at you over and over and over again, at a certain point, you're like, fine.
I'll roll with
really, like a friend of mine that runs a big project. His company had a bunch of money in UST. He personally had a bunch of money in UST, and like they lost it all, right? And like obviously diversify your freaking portfolio, even if you think it's a stable coin, right? Like you never know. This is the Wild West, right? That's rule number one. But yeah, for me, like I love the idea of being in stable coins, but I love the idea of being in real estate way more. Right. So like if we can have a tokenized functionality to be in a situation like that, that versus a stable coin is where I would have gone anyway. Right. So that's like
for sure
a stupid level of potential engagement. Right. And then, we have the deal flow to basically take on, tens if not hundreds of millions of dollars worth of deals over the course of a year. Just need to button it up and make it really pretty and regulated and real and solid enough that investors can feel really comfortable.
Yeah, no, and definitely like the overall model that I've seen be really useful and then also compliant is allowing for NFT purchases where you can redeem your NFT to stay there, but then the actual ownership is offered through a security token. So in other words, like, where you just mint an NFT and then that allows access, right? Based off of the NFT, you just determine like how many nights stay or what type of access it really looks like. But then, you're keeping that separate from the actual people that are investing into the real asset. Just because that's where
you'd want to have them separated anyway, right? Like that. Yeah. Well, and I haven't. So you're doing like the regulated security tokens then?
So it's basically a function where at the protocol level, it requires a transfer agent to basically convey the shares. And so this is where, like in the real world, the cap table is getting updated, and you're basically able to stay compliant. And so it's just a way of being able to offer investment, options in a way that's scalable, ultimately.
Okay. Yeah, we should talk about that too, because that might be like, I mean, the easiest thing for me is just to because I want to play with an offshore DAO anyway, just because I want to understand them a lot better. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see even do both, right, and see which one gets more juice.
Yeah, because you're thinking that the more juice would come from the NFT side, ultimately, if you're offering it that way.
Well, no, I'm thinking like if we had a DAO based out of the Caymans instead of based in Wyoming, it was the question I'm wondering, right? Like, do we and like Wyoming, I think we're especially as a DAO, we're able to for now anyway skirt securities law because Wyoming is like we don't give a shit, right? So cool, thanks for that. I guess we'll see how that works out. But especially for the numbers that we're going to do and that the sort of explicit nature of it. I think we could do something in the States and kind of run NFTs and kind of run through the gauntlet of how Wyoming's doing it, or just go like from the jump go full regulated as a security, which I've never done either, which would be a fun experience for me. And so either that or we, just head out to Estonia or the Caymans or, some of these countries that are letting you set up a DAO and run it however the fuck you want. It's all digital. And then, that DAO would just own like a wholly owned subsidiary in the United States to have its real estate holdings or whatever.
Yep.
Fascinating. Yeah, right? And I'm at the point where I just like, if they obviously are responsible and make sense and work, I can see us playing around with every single iteration of this, because at the end of the day, like, nobody knows what the perfect one is. I've talked to 18 trillion people about this and they have no fucking idea. So, all right, cool. Let's try it out.
Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm definitely interested in both. So yeah, as soon as you guys are like, doing some official meetings on that, I'd love to sit down and chat with
I have to fast track this. So, and well, then we've got a line on, a friend of a friend, good friend, is doing real estate in Europe and in France and stuff too. So like, as far as like the actual, potential for this is sort of international from the jump, which sort of makes me think that, like, something in the Caymans probably makes more sense, because I think they're kind of set up to handle that kind of cash flow. But either way, right? It's just like, how many freaking things can we do this year? All of them.
Yeah. Every last one.
Right? Yeah. I think it's something that the industry, like our Web3 industry, really, really needs. Like access to simple places to put funds that are, it has that added benefit of being instantaneously liquid, right? Like we've got LP pools for whatever products we happen to be in. And they move as easily as tokens, right? Which is something you just aren't going to do with shares of a corporation somewhere. It's just not as fun. Not for me anyway. Like if it's not a token, I don't even want to like I'll never ever be part of a Web2 company again. Just personally, I won't do it.
Yep.
Trauma.
Yeah, I don't think I could either. There's no way.
Yeah, it's the incentive structures are clearly broken because it produces very broken people who think that they're still doing the right thing when they're very not. Now, granted, this might have been an isolated incident, but I don't think it is. Not
now, what are you referring to on that in particular?
Stuff I'm not allowed to talk about under NDA.
Oh yeah.
Right. Let me put it this way: we just bought the Uplift from a Web2 company who's pretending to be a Web3 company.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And they are experiencing challenges. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Hope they do great.
So the origins of Uplift. So you didn't kick it off as the founder. It was actually originated by a Web2 company that you guys ended up acquiring it from.
So yeah, I'm a noob at all of this stuff, right? I was a guitar player a year and a half ago. Now, granted, like I've been studying in business and startups for a long time, like been kind of like stepping up to the point where, doing a bunch of different projects or whatever. But this is sort of my first, real at bat with something that ended up being successful. Granted, we didn't know it was going to be successful at the time, but I set it up with a couple of partners that, as far as I knew, had lots more experience than I did, and yada yada yada. And I figured, okay, like I could just work on the metaverse stuff, biz dev, and they're just going to handle everything else. And handling everything else turned into, we earned about just under 5 million for the Uplift, and we got to spend about 1.5 on the Uplift, and the rest of it is gone.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, they have other projects, and it was all underneath the aegis of one company. So like technically, I had no control over that, right? And they were allowed to do whatever they wanted, and so they did. And needless to say, I wasn't super satisfied with that, and so yeah, we bought the company out from underneath that situation, and of course we're turning it into a DAO, and we're gonna beat the ever living shit out of this thing now, and we actually have control over it, right? And the first thing after buying it is of course giving the landholders and community members 25% of the DAO tokens, and my core co-founding team now, we're giving them 25% as well, just because, you know, it just makes a lot of sense. So
nice.
Yeah.
So, and then have you been talking to other either like metaverse or AR companies, whether like Superworld or like any of the other ones, and like in terms of like unifying and bringing some together? Or
I haven't, but I totally would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
any meaningful collab, I'm totally in.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things, you know, it's been refreshing talking to you, you know, because you're a lot more open to it than it seems like a lot of the other ones are. But definitely, you know, at some point.
Yeah, it's like, and it's interesting, right? Because like the if we look at it as, you know, winner takes all, zero sum game, then we shall quit because the other side's gonna kill us.
Yep.
Right? Like, good luck. Now, and we'll see, right? Because they might never produce anything, which is a total possibility, right? They have talked a massively good game, and I think they will produce at least something. But like NFT Worlds did like 50 times more sales than us, right? And, you know, Minecraft based or whatever, and they're just gonna get botted to hell. Like they've got a play to earn game that is getting botted now, and will just continue to get botted, right? The you know, amount of community and builds that we have with our, you know, 8,000 people connected to it is dramatically more interesting and deeper than anything they have going on. And so we don't know at the end of the day where we're going to be at. And so my whole take is we've got a niche market that is crushing and will continue to crush. And I'm just going to build it with the, you know, network effect in mind. Because at the end of the day, network effect is the only thing that's going to matter. Like Facebook is proof of that, right? Yep. You get enough network effect and enough traction, and you're good to go. You get enough network effect, you can stay sticky enough to stay alive, right? Which is like my long-term goal number one is don't die, because it's and really like it's too important to maintain the what have already become historical places that are almost sort of shrines to the past in the uplift. And so yeah, like goal number one, just have a system that is vibrant enough and self-sustaining enough that it has that sort of escape velocity just to keep moving. And then, you know, you get enough if you can get enough market share that you can sort of really make that safer and safer all the time. Great. So moving backwards from those two goals, anytime you can do a collaboration with somebody else who's in the metaverse space, you just fucking do it. It's not gonna hurt.
Yep.
Like, but that's like a Web 2 old school attitude to me, to like be thinking so hardcore in competition that it just has to be cutthroat. Yep. I was like, we don't need to do that. People are going to succeed or fail or whatever, right? And if you're worried about people coming and stealing your people, it's because you fucking suck. You're worried you're not fucking producing enough, right? We just will. Like, I want that. Like, I don't want to feel safe. Like, it's weird, Brian. Like, I'm so excited that it's bear market that I should be freaking institutionalized. Like, it's weird.
I'm with you, man. I love the bear markets where everything just like quiets down, and you know.
Yeah. Well, some people quiet down, and some people get all scared, and I'm like, no, we're gonna outwork this like crazy, right? Like that's like I'm actually excited. There's an amazing conversation with Juan from Nefty, you know, because their volumes are down, and like it's a bit of a challenging moment or whatever. In 48 hours, I have 2 ideas that will create revenue streams for them that will last them the winter. Which is like, shoot this into my veins. Like the constraints, the challenges of it are like, it's scary. But this is like, you know, rock climbing without a rope. Bring your friends. Don't fall.
Yeah. I like it. So talk to me once I build out some things in the Uplift world, in terms of what I can do with them. So I know like right now, you know, the main thing would be, you know, like being able to portal or onboard people where then they're getting some exposure to Blockcities, right? But at some point, I know that other metaverses have like integrated like a rental model where you can like rent out your land, or to do other like, I don't know, monetization mechanisms, we'll call it. Anything that, even if it doesn't exist right now, you know, anything that you've got on the radar for coming up?
So events number one, like the renting out of land. I mean, I think we could do that this year, if anybody wanted to have that happen. And then I think maybe the ARC. I mean, the main thing that I think people should be looking at right now is events, right? It's like the main constraint with Minecraft, and with a lot of other servers, but they definitely don't want you to think about that, is that it's Minecraft is single thread, right? So anything that's going on in a single world on one of our maps is running through one thread of a computer, all of it at a time, right? So like on one map, something like Genesis, which is pretty big, at like 150 people, it starts to experience some lag, right? That's why all our maps now are really, really small, right? But what we can do is carve out your land and a little bit of surrounding area and make an event server, right? And so for an event, and we can like NFT passgate it, right? So you want to have like a grand opening or just like a party, and you want to launch a bunch of stuff, you put up a bunch of new images or whatever. We can create an event server, and if you get like 1,000 people that RSVP and want those things, right, we boot up 6 servers. So and people still experience it with like hundreds of people around them or whatever. But we can basically scale that because nobody's building around it, right? It's like it just is that one thing, and so we can duplicate that at will based on demand for that event, and then have people come in and do Twitter Spaces or whatever it is to add audio components. But then we start doing kind of gaming stuff, right? Where we have punch sign get thing where we already have it set up so that we can set up a sign in world where if you punch that sign, it automatically adds people to a whitelist, or it automatically sends people some NFT or whatever, right? So that I think doing events like that where it's like big unveils and you're packing a bunch of people into a thing at a time or whatever is sort of experience we're seeing elsewhere, and one that we've been doing. NFT Kids and Rocket Gallery just did one recently. That's been working pretty well. So that I would say is like near term what we would see, and again we're learning on the fly. So like as people kind of play around with these ideas, and we're gonna get into all sorts of crazy stuff.
Nice. And so when it comes to like building some structures, I'm assuming that the individuals that have already purchased the land is able to recognize that they have that NFT, and essentially that person has writing capability to that particular plot, right?
Yep.
Whereas if I tried to go on somebody else's plot and build, it wouldn't allow me to.
You wouldn't be able to do anything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm stoked to get full disclosure. I'm definitely gonna have my daughter help me with
Nice.
the build out.
Yes, love it.
But she's all about it, so she'll make something good.
Brilliant. Yeah. No, that this is the way. All right. So let me pull this up. We should just pick your land while I'm on here. So
let's do it.
Let's get after it. I should learn Asbel.
And then just so I know, so you guys were in Miami and then we're moving elsewhere, or you guys moved to
We're in Miami right now, and we're gonna be here probably for the next 3 months. Okay. Just because we're actually starting an IVF cycle, trying to get pregnant for the up to gazillion of time.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
you guys stayed in Florida?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When we move, it'll be 45 minutes north of Tampa.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be around.
We'll have to do a little tradesies, and I'll get you a little plot in the Blockcities world.
Yep. All right, so set up this. Not that one. There we go. Might as well just show you guys this whole thing. All right, so this is actually how I keep the map organized, and I got a bunch more to add in there. So the red ones are the ones that are going to be owned. That you can see the Blockcities one down there, or can you? Sort of. Let me zoom in here.
So I'm seeing the Meta Art Club, NFT the movie.
Right. Yeah. So we want to have this little world down here is spawn, where everybody starts in world, right? So everything kind of goes outward from there. So I got NFT the movie, and basically like around here is where we're gonna have, like, basically around this mountain is where we're gonna have people. So this one over to the left might be on the top of the mountain. This one almost certainly is. The one on top left over here might have a view to that big arch, so it might be interesting. So which one do you want?
Oh man, I mean, so is it pretty much like any of these little red dots here that are close to the center?
Yeah.
Cool.
Not close to the center. See the movie. I think in like a cone going north. Because yeah, I want to have you guys all like relatively close together.
Yeah, I mean, let's check out the one that's like to the top left of right there. Yeah.
Up here.
So the one right below that.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll just go in and you want to actually go in and actually I wonder if we could take a look at it on the world map. Let's do that. I haven't done that before. That'll be fun. And so this is Etheria. So it's probably going to be, we want the plot lines in there. Let me look to see which one this is. So it's the one right underneath all of that. So it's this one right here. So 384, 352. And let's see what happens when we go 3D on this bad boy. What did I say that number was?
352.
352, 288. Yeah, top of the mountain. That's pretty choice actually. Because it's got you're basically overlooking this cliff. So when you're on your build up here, and you can always like dig into the mountain and have the entire thing be like a big cave gallery if you want to.
Nice. Killer.
But yeah, that's gonna have some very interesting opportunities. Because I think on this corner, I think it's actually open to that whole like vista in the middle that we were in.
Yep.
All right.
I love it.
Rocking out.
Cave gallery. I'm on it.
Done. Okay. 352, 288 is yours. And I'll just grab. Actually, can you fire me a logo?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll actually yeah, maybe just on Facebook Messenger, and then I'll throw it up on there. Cool. Getting her done.
I'm assuming just like just the logo PNG style.
Yeah. Beautiful. Awesome. Ties too.
Then, and when I go into when I open up Minecraft, and each time I should be using the I forget what the command was, but basically where I'm switching servers to the Uplift one. Remember correctly.
Where are you trying to go?
So I'm just trying to get into this general world here.
Oh yeah, so you go /server Etheria, space Etheria.
Yep, that's what it was.
Change this to black probably. All right.
I got a cat meowing at me right now.
All right. So what is your
username?
Yeah, I think I have to go back to
it should just be Blockcities.
Okay. That up.
Oh yeah. That's funny. So are you seeing me right there? Like if I start walking around, is that going to change on your screen?
Yeah, it's in real time.
Yep. All right, so I'm basically just walking up the sounds. How do I fly?
You can't fly, or no, you can. Double jump.
Oh, nice.
352, 288. Oh yeah.
Let's see. And then I want to go back
Oh, no,
to. Okay, never mind. Got it. Hang on.
Is that what we picked? Hold on here. I feel like I'm too far away. Oh, okay, so yeah, that's 3. I was picked the wrong one here, but the right one. I just had the wrong numbers. So 384, 352. You're actually really close to it. Yep. All right, let me get back there. Okay. Yep.
And
We're
then, so
here.
should I be going further south?
If you come straight to me, you basically have this pillar. So it'll be from where I am right now, which is just I'm just over to right behind you a little bit. And then over to about here.
Nice.
So yeah, this corner will end up being where you want to build. That's really good. Okay. All right, well, let's make it happen.
Beautiful. And then, see, once I'm approved, will I be able to tell exactly like where the property lines are, or how?
Yeah, because you'll be able to either build or not build.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, right on that line. Okay, so the thing is 384, 2, and Blockcities.
Yep.
Screw up. 384, 352. Block cities. That should work. Boom. All right. If you come over here, you should be able to build. Try and dig up some of the snow.
Where's over here?
Oh, here, I'll TP you to me. Boom. Right there.
Nice.
See if you can destroy something. It's
Yep.
your land.
Yeah. I love it. Let's get the snow out of here. It's springtime. I love it. And then is it just like automatically saved like as you go? Or do you have to like do like a file like hard save?
No. It's just Minecraft, right? So as you build, it's automatic.
Cool.
Yeah. Could you do me a favor and like dig up all the snow as far this way as you can go?
Yeah. Let's see.
So just come up to here with me. I just want to find the bottom corner. We're almost there. It might be over here. Like right around here. I'm gonna put a billboard up over here.
Oh, whoops! I think I was following the wrong person. So you're selling land, right?
Here.
So.
Okay. Yeah, just come in a line this way. Still yours. House is good.
Nice. So that's the line right there. website.
Oh, perfect. Okay, you can. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. Do you have any logos with the background?
Yep.
Okay, find me one of those. Just gonna do this all while we're here. I got some time. How far this way can you go? Trying to make sure I don't go over your land.
Give me 1 second. I'll get back there.
See. Me.
Let's see. Where you at?
Over here. Can you hit like any of these snow patches over here, right behind you? I want to find out how far this way I can come. Like the other way.
Like basically down the steps.
Can you see me over here?
Oh yeah, now I see it.
Over this way. Can you hit like one of these ones?
Yeah, those are not working.
Okay.
So let's see. The last one that it.
Oh, right there. Yeah. That might be the actual corner. All right, you're good. Yeah, I just need to know how far sideways I could come towards the other line here. Because like I've got God mode, so I can like I can sort of build anywhere, but I don't want to. So anyway, yeah. If you can find me that logo, I'll get it loaded up on in our system and throw it up there.
Awesome. Yeah, I just got a different one over, but let me, if you mind, as soon as we're off here, I'm just gonna throw something together that I'll kick over to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Well, this will be where it'll be at. I'll be able to. Is the plan to have this server with only LAN keys, no rail? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. We'll I can come back in and do this in a little bit.
Well, so I just kicked you over something. Let me know if that one works.
Oh, cool. Let me take a look here.
Yeah.
Was it on Messenger?
Facebook? Yeah.
Yeah, I still only see the.
Oh, that's actually hilarious. I just sent it to the wrong person.
Like, what? Thanks, I guess. Oh, perfect. That's gonna work like money. Money, money, money. Okay. So now I go to our little system and I upload this thing. Beautiful. Then it'll take a little while, but we'll get it sorted out. It's kind of long too. Maybe 2-to-1. PC. Probably pretty close. So.
Oh, nice. You make like a little billboard right now?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, let me see if that. Sometimes it takes a few minutes for the thing to actually percolate in there. And it will. It's going to take a few minutes. That's okay. Be awesome. I love how everybody's hanging out now. That's cool.
What's going on here?
I'm going to share my screen so people can actually see what's going on here. Boink. Boink. There we go. Building the billboard.
Yeah, buddy.
So yeah, basically like when you set an image, you set the top left-hand corner. And I don't know quite how big it's going to be or you know what I mean? So I'm kind of setting it up so that we can eyeball it, and then I'll finish the backing once it's actually in there, right? Sleepy time now. Nope. Dang it. Oh, you know what? That's because I screwed up. Here we go. My bad. Okay. Nice. All right. Let's see what happens.
Nice.
Height too. All right, TC, if you can hear me, get in front of this bad boy. You should do the same thing. We got to get you an avatar too. Yep. Over to Skindex and grab or make one. We could probably actually put your logo on a shirt, even with this res. The you know the Blockcities thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, hop over there. I want to get some screenshots.
Where is that being the blue?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Let's get out of the way a little bit.
There you go. Over here, see if I can get the whole. Yeah. All right, get out of the picture and do this. Thanks, TC.
Killer.
Cool.
Where do I go to get my avatar?
Skindex.com.
Skindex, cool.
Yeah, they've got an editor, or you can pick one, and yeah, we're going to be toying around with the idea of making higher def versions, like basically grabbing these avatars, because like this one of me, I guess like this is like who I am. I can't ever get away from this silly NASA shirt and khaki pants. Like it's never gonna happen.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's weird how quickly they become sort of part of your identity here.
Yeah,
dude, this looks just fucking awesome. Don't move at all. I'm gonna do this where I'll just cut out my garbage. That's awesome. Cool. All right, you know what? One more thing I'm gonna do is make a little tiny video to send over to our friend Jeff.
Yep.
I'm gonna start over at NFT the movie and just go slightly over the hill and come meet you. Awesome. All right, so video producer thing, recording machine.
Don't let us down. Don't fail us now.
Right. Okay. So 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, some have their voting plans and
Just a hop and a skip.
Right.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Future home to a cave gallery.
Yes. Yeah, that's awesome.
Killer.
Sun's coming up over there. Cool beans. All right.
Yeah, dude. I'm stoked.
We did the thing.
Yep.
That's
we
good
did.
cake. Awesome, man. All right. Well, I'm glad you came on. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do. I'm going to put some meetings together on the real estate thing, maybe even for the weekend or something. And I'll keep you posted, because it's like it's turned into this like idea that just won't freaking leave me alone. To like, okay, what happens if we put a super team together? Because this is something the space needs, and like I don't give a shit if I make a lot of money at it. Like I want this thing to be a thing that exists for me, so that I can actually responsibly put my own money into a real estate thing. So if we can do that and serve the community in other ways, then yeehaw.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Cool.
I'm stoked to get some things going, and yeah, definitely.
Oh man, hold on, I'm coming back here. I gotta do a sunrise shot.
Yeah.
Oh. Awesome. I mean, come on. I'll send these to you.
Cool.
Just get some of the light going on. That's just good cake. I'll just show you what I'm doing here. It just looks like.
Oh yeah, glorious.
Yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do. And you got some villagers up there, or like this freaking trader guys hanging out. Anyway,
Nice.
All right, man. I gotta run. Thanks for being able to come today.
Thank you, bro.
And yeah, I can't wait to see what you build. And seriously, if you want to like anything else you want up, like I want to do everybody's logo and one image. So any like a website thing or like anything kind of promo material or like any kind of poster you'd put out, and then a link, and then I'll make you a QR code, embed the QR code, and put that up as well.
Perfect.
All right,
dude.
cool.
All
man.
right, brother.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. See ya.
Cheers.